Girl, we're doing a sports.
We are. Yes, we're on. I hope everyone but Brett Favre and Michael Vick have fun.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's it.
Hi, Julie Benzavalli.
Hello, Patrick Hines.
Girl, we hit the 100,000 subscriber mark on YouTube.
That is crazy.
And growing. Like, as of right now, we're like 108,000. It's
God.
insane. So, fam, thank you for following us on YouTube. I love you for watching the episodes and commenting. We're getting so many comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Go check it out on the YouTube. We give good YouTube. I'm just going to say it.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
The YouTube has grown so fast, it has blown my mind.
Oh, my God. It's making me really anxious. You see, I'm like wringing my hands. It's just so crazy.
I know. It's wild. We love it. We're having so much fun. We also have a Discord.
Yeah, Discord is super fun because Discord is a place where you can have like a lot of channels.
Yeah.
That's what I always like promoting. You can have like episode conversation and then Patreon episode conversation and then like music or here's my pet or here's general stuff or I don't know. It's very, very fun.
You're the Disky queen. I love it so much.
Barely. I'm just there having fun. But I always like let everyone know what we're recording that day. Or,
Yes.
you know, it's like, it's sort of a direct line.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So everyone in the Disky is like super, super nice.
And when I called you the Disky queen, I wanted to call you the Disco queen. And then I imagined you on roller skates with like hot pants in the 70s with John
like
Travolta.
Roller Girl?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, no one can compete with Roller Girl, but I'm just happy to be nominated.
Our mutual Roller Girl love really makes me happy.
I know.
Oh my God. What are we talking about today, girl?
Oh God, Untold on Netflix, The Fall of Farve. That guy spells his name wrong.
He does? Well, they get it wrong when they draft him the first time. They call him, like, what do they call him?
Well, it's spelled F-A-V. He just spells his name wrong. He's an asshole.
Oh, is it like Favre?
It's like Favre, but it's Farve.
Not in my notes. In my notes, it's F-A-R-V-E.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
For the sake of telling the story. But this guy's an asshole. At the very least of his issues is that he spells his own fucking name wrong.
This guy.
Some people might say he was a football god. But, I mean, look. There are a lot of reasons why you might question Brett Favre's inner goodness.
Allegations that he sent lewd texts and photos to a New York Jets sideline employee.
Why are we shocked that a football player wanted to sleep with you? You were selling sex.
Because I think there's some level of professionalism that's expected in the workplace. He was like that guy at the bar that just could not get the hint.
I'm going back to the hotel, Plaza. Had to come overnight.
He starts to go through life thinking, I can do whatever I want. At what level does that stop?
I'm not getting into that.
In the life of Brett Favre, not everything is what it seems. Maybe we shouldn't be surprised that he got caught up in a federal welfare misappropriation scandal.
The very first thing we see is text on screen that says a Netflix sports film. And I said, what am I doing here?
Yeah. And then Michael Vick is here, which I find insane.
Oh.
And I'm like, will no one else speak about
You
Brett?
will. Tell.
But I mean, like, that's who they have Michael Vick being like, hey, we all make mistakes. And
Tell
I'm like,
them what he
girl.
did, because now that you mention it, I know, but I had forgotten.
I just don't understand. Michael Vick is the guy who did a lot of horrifying, I mean, disgustingly horrifying dogfighting. He's the dogfighting guy.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that he's going to sit here and not like take full ownership for the awful shit that he did. He's just going to sit here and be like, I'm a football player expert.
And I'm a Brett Favre defender.
And not saying like, well, we all you know what I mean? Like, there's
100%.
it's not like Michael Vick dogfighting guy at lower third. He's just like a guy who's like, we're all good. We're all humans.
Totally.
And I'm like,
at one point, he's like, everybody robs banks and goes to jail. Like, he says that.
who are you, the fucking mom from Unknown Number? Like,
Sorry,
we all do bad shit sometimes.
What does her face do again?
Okay, I gotta look in the. So her lips don't connect, and then she's got, and then she talks like she's a ventriloquist. She's a nightmare, and then she sexually harasses her daughter and her daughter's 13-year-old boyfriend.
It's really bad. She should be in this documentary.
Anyway, Brett Favre is a quarterback.
You only had to see Brett throw a football one time to see the arm strength, and there's just very few human beings that can do what he could do with a football.
Immediately, everyone's like, oh, everyone treated him differently. He was never really a human being. He was always a football god.
And it's true. I mean, we see it. Like, it's unabashed how these people never treated him like a person. Even as soon as, like, everybody understood what a fucking dirtbag he was.
And it's like treating him like a god when he's 20 years old just led to him being a piece of shit off the field.
Yeah. When we go to Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's football season. They say, this is what you schedule your wedding around. Like, the people love the sports. They love it.
Okay, when I hear Green Bay, Wisconsin, I think of one thing.
What?
Do you know about the Bath and Body Works candle lady?
No.
Do you know about this thing? Okay, so there is this old, I only learned about it kind of recently in the last like few years.
You're a wealth of knowledge.
It was a viral video. It was like a 13-minute rant about how she wanted like the winter candy apple candle.
I do know, and there was the woman who did the thing where she like did
the lip sync of it.
And it was perfect.
It was perfect.
Like with the facial expressions and everything.
Like,
yes, that was in Green Bay?
It was in Appleton. Jenn in Appleton, but she's like, I went all over. I went to Oshkosh. I went to Green Bay. She's wearing a Packer shirt while she's doing the whole thing. This is going to be extremely explicit. She's looking for candles, everybody.
Oh my God.
But she's been searching high and low. And so I just think whenever I hear Green Bay or Wisconsin or the Packers, I think about that lady. I mean, and then the lady who does the recap or the lip sync of it.
The lip sync of it is incredible. Like you could get lost in it. It's a true art form. Yeah, and she memorized the entire thing.
It is Jenn from Appleton. Like it is just. I hear Wisconsin. I go to Appleton. I think of this. I think of the peach Bellini. I think of the whole. If you really please, it is worth your time.
Yes, it is. It is.
It is so worth your time that sometimes there was one Sunday a couple Sundays ago where Mike and I were in bed and he referenced something like before we got our bagels and I was like, you know what that reminds me of? 15 minutes later, we watched the whole fucking thing.
I mean, sometimes the peek inside your brain is so fascinating.
I love it. I love it so much. It is so ridiculous.
Girl, our favorite Rocket Money is back. Fam, you know this. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Yeah, so you know me. I'm kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I don't love it.
Yes.
But what I do love is how Rocket Money shows you all your expenses in one place.
Yeah.
So if it's out of your mind, not anymore on this dashboard. So like all those subscriptions you forgot about, it's all right there.
This is my online Steve Tipton because the dashboard lays out your total finance picture. So it shows you all your bill due dates and paydays in a way that's easy to digest. Like, this is exactly what I always needed. I was the worst late bill payer, but now with Rocket Money, I got it all in front of me. It's basically done for you.
Yeah, and you can also like contrast and compare and be like, do I even want this?
I know.
No? And then Rocket Money will help you cancel it.
Fam, Rocket Money's 5 million members have saved a total of, get this, $500 million in canceled subscriptions, with members saving up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. That's a lot of money, girl.
And especially when you think like, oh, that was going to something I wasn't even using.
Yes.
It feels like double the amount. Like it just feels so much nicer to have it back.
Truly. So fam, cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money.
Go to rocketmoney.com/obsessed today.
That's rocketmoney.com/obsessed today. I just want to say in Green Bay, football is everything.
People are obsessed.
I could never live in that town.
What are you going to do? Where's that lady's peach Bellini candle or what is it? The winter, whatever the fuck, winter candy apple.
You're exhausted by how much people love football. I get it. I'm with you.
Because it leads to this is my point. That's why it's exhausting, because it leads to people doing bad things.
And I got to say, like, one of the things about watching the sports, and we'll get there when we get there, but like watching people who are amazing at something do that thing is kind of amazing. I know they're monsters. It's why like going to a Broadway show is, I mean, like you're seeing the people at the top of their game doing their thing.
Sometimes people on Broadway are also monsters.
Anybody come to mind?
No, not a single. Not a one.
Not a one.
But it is, we do this all the time where it's like, wow, you could have done that and then you did this. Right?
Yeah.
Like you can throw a ball X amount. Like, wow, you could do a really cool thing and yet you chose to use that power for evil. And
I know.
It will just never not baffle me.
It's true. But we learn about the Packers that like they had once been a really big team, but by the 80s, they'd faded into mediocrity.
They had a 20-year slump and I'm like, that's just you being a bad team.
For 20 years.
A slump is
I know.
like 2 years.
Yeah, you're
Not
right.
20.
You're right. Like the team just sucks now.
Like, woof.
And they say like
When it's a franchise that is so identified with the town that it's in, a 20-year slump can be pretty deflating. So when they're dominant again, the level of hero worship is going to be next level.
the level of hero worship goes to the next level. And that's really the crux of this whole thing.
What's so interesting, and this really just occurred to me, is that whenever we cover stories like this, it's like, oh, there is I in team.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, a 20-year slump, and then, oh my God, this team is now at the top of the heap. But they're I was going to say blaming it on, but giving all the credit to this Brett Favre guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, what about the rest of the team?
Right.
Like, there is an I in team.
The 100%. And that's the thing, too. Like, we've talked about this off mic, but like, I am not a separate the art from the artist kind of person, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's really hard because we go to the University of Southern Mississippi where Brett Favre is like a total prodigy, and it is magical to watch what he can do.
He's 17 years old.
I mean, the way that he throws a football would kill a person. Like, though he throws them so hard, somebody's like, he was breaking my hand with the football.
Right.
But it's hard to talk about how beautiful, it's like watching OJ. It was the same thing. Like
I knew you were going to say it, but it's true.
Watching OJ play football, it is unbelievable to watch somebody do the thing that they were born to do and have it be beautiful. But I don't want to give this guy any props because he's such a monster.
And it's like, I wonder if we just treated him like a 17-year-old who was really good at something.
Yeah.
What would have happened instead of being like, he's a god. He can do no wrong.
But I also think that you can say, well, right, but like that could be two different things. It could be like, he's a god, he's so good at this, but we're still going to hold him accountable for this shit that he shouldn't be allowed to do.
He's a child.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. And let this be a lesson. No one's going to learn a lesson here. Like, no one is going to learn any lessons.
Especially
but like,
the men.
Well, but truly, but there is the opportunity to learn a lesson here.
We
could say, let's stop doing this.
Yeah, that's almost more hurtful.
I know.
I feel that more in my gut where it's like, they could have, but they didn't.
I know. It's horrible because the answer is so easy. You know what I mean? The answer is just hold people accountable, mostly men, as we're saying.
Just throw the fucking ball, man.
I know.
Or catch the ball or whatever. It's a ball.
If you were to be a good person and be that great at that, let us tell you how great you are at it. But you're still just a person living in an organized society who has to play by the rules and laws.
And then they forget, like, I know, even if you're not part of this kind of community, like being a fan of anything brings people together, which I love. I'm unabashedly a fan. I love being a fan.
Yeah.
But like being a fan of a team brings people together. And it's so obvious that so early on, these kids just forget about the fandom and forget about why they're actually doing it. And then they're like, well, I'm just going to fuck around and be a dick.
Yeah.
And forget about all the people who like name their kid after me.
Their streets?
Or like moved to be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like people live and love and breathe this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so when you see this asshole at 17 being like, oh, I can kind of do whatever I want.
We're at this game in Mississippi where he's playing.
His freshman year, they were playing Tulane at home, and they were down by 2 touchdowns at halftime.
Coach Jim Carmody called on Brett Favre in the third quarter. Number 4 displayed his leadership and God-given talent, and the Southern Miss legend of Brett Favre was hatched.
I put this on my Instagram this morning because my notes read as follows. There's some big game they are losing. They bring in Farve in the third half or whatever. He does the throwing that gets the touchdowns and they win.
It wins. Yeah, they win.
Did I do
it? I just said it wins. Yes.
Am I a sports reporter now?
You did it now.
I also cannot believe how many sports reporters there are.
There are.
There are so many sports reporters.
Well, they're all like regional. They're all, sometimes they're just for the team.
Yep.
Sometimes they're just for the area.
And it really, it's just another thing about the fandom because it's not just like people who love to watch the games and people who love to be the players, people who love to write about, like the sports is a whole segment of our society that I don't know anything about.
Well, there's also just like the vibe of it. So I'm not being insufferable. I mean, I'm sure I am, but like I love when the season changes like away from summer.
Yeah.
Right? And so there is a vibe. Like sometimes I'm on like TikTok, like I'll be scrolling and it'll be like, oh my God, like that's the sound of a football game on. Like these women will be posting these videos, right? Where it's like the sound of football is on. I'm in sweatpants and a cute hoodie and there's like really good food and it's kind of chilly and like I'm reading my book and he's watching the game or there's like people over and there's like a coziness to the whole like like whatever that like sound is of the game. And I'm like, I don't care, but I kind of could totally get down with wearing like house slippers and a hoodie and a sweat set.
Yeah.
And that like kind of lulling me into, I don't know, a book or like making a friendship bracelet or doing something in the background.
Watching Beetlejuice.
Whatever. And there's a breeze and it's like, oh, it's a little chilly for 2 seconds. Like I'm in, like the vibe of it is like perfection to me. And so I think a lot of people, like we can't really forget about that. So I know I'm going to talk a lot of shit about a lot of people being like, he's a god.
Yeah.
But there is a moment. And like the reason I'm harping on it so much is because when you choose to be an asshole, Brett Favre, Michael Vick, whatever, you forget about that beauty of people having something in common and family and community.
Because the hero worship breeds a self-centeredness. They don't care. They only care about themselves.
Right. And this isn't like a football specific thing. This is all hero worship across the board.
You see it everywhere. But like just once again, like this Brett Favre guy, he only knows how to throw a fastball. That's what they say. Like this one guy's like,
this guy was breaking fingers, breaking pads, could have probably thrown through some walls. They began to call him the gunslinger.
My fingers still hurt
Is
from
it
the past.
fastball baseball?
Who you're asking the wrong
Right?
gay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, are we at Ron Wolf? Are
We
in the
can be.
90s?
Let's get there. Yeah, 1991 draft.
Yeah. So 1991, yes.
This is a thing that people watch on the TV.
For a lot of sports.
Do you know about this?
They do it for hockey too.
They do?
Sometimes celebrities come out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a thing.
We're at the draft, and it's weird.
I don't know any more about it.
Okay, it's about 100% more than I know.
Right.
I said the draft is like the Tony Awards for football, apparently.
Kind of,
you know?
but it's sort of, yeah. So it's 1991, and Brett Favre gets drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, but he was supposedly expected to get drafted first.
Yes.
But he wasn't, and he was picked 30th. Like 30 teams came and went, and then he was chosen.
The announcer who announces his name calls him Brett Favre, and I said, this man has never lived it down. Every friend, every barbecue, they always call him Favre, and I'm like, Brent Favre is on this man's tombstone.
It's like Teresa from Real Housewives of New Jersey. She pronounces her own last name wrong. It's Giudice. It's Giudice, no?
Oh, that's
or
a good
Giudice?
question. I don't know.
But she's like, Teresa Giudice, and I'm like, girl.
That's not how you say your own last name.
Like, so I feel like Farve is doing it right. You just say Favre.
I know, but they call him Favre, and I'm like, that poor guy, like that man.
Oh, he's fine.
You're right.
He's like a white man who's 20 who can throw a ball. He's okay.
Oh, we should
Don't
leave him
feel
alone.
bad.
Yeah. You're right. Fuck that guy.
You know, so this Ron Wolf guy, he's the Green Bay Packers general manager from 1991 to 2001. He played in the NFL for 37 years. He's like an icon or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's going to go work for Green Bay. And everyone's like, hey, idiot.
Yeah.
Green Bay is where you send people as a punishment. This is a whole big waste of your time.
But you know, this guy sees it the way I would hope that I would see it. He sees it as an opportunity. It's like, okay, we've got this terrible team that used to be great. Maybe I'm the guy that'll find the guy that'll make it great again. And guess what? He does it.
He goes, they were in sorry shape, I'll tell you.
Yeah, because Favre goes to Atlanta. And this I don't know. Well, I guess if he was picked 30th in the draft, like nobody thought he was that good. Because when he gets to Atlanta.
Before the game, Ken Hurok is running the Atlanta operation. And he says, hey, Ron, if you want to see Favre throw, you got to go down there and watch him now, because when his team comes out, they won't let him take part of that. And it was there that I found out that I had a chance to get Favre.
No one really explains why they weren't playing him. It's just this whole sort of like part of the lore of like, you couldn't really see the genius unless you went to practice, rehearsal, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well then what's the, like, what was wrong with Atlanta that they weren't, I don't know what the deal was. They don't explain it. I'm sure someone who knows this is screaming at me somewhere.
But this Ron Wolf guy sees this as an opportunity because he goes to Atlanta to watch Favre play. They're not letting him play. And he's like, wait a second, maybe I can get this guy. Like maybe we can get him to come to Green Bay and like put him in the first string or whatever you're calling it.
He says he's everything you want in a quarterback. And I'm like, well, then why weren't they playing him? They don't tell us. Let's go to 1992.
It could be a Broadway thing where he's a very strong understudy, so he'll never get cast in the lead. You know what I mean?
Well, but he's going to be the star of the whole thing.
It's true.
So I don't know.
Okay.
They don't explain anything. In my notes, I have big, bold, like highlighted whatever. 1992. We have so much more to go.
It's true.
He's now playing for the Green Bay Packers. He's 23 years old.
Yes.
The first game that he's there, the quarterback gets hurt. He's out of the game. Brett Favre, comes in to replace him. He's immediately amazing. Every single thing he does, don't ask me to explain it. I can't say the words. I don't know. I don't care. Everything he does, the Packers win. And in that moment, everyone's like, this is a god that I'm watching.
I mean, it's kind of amazing because like the main guy, like the lead of the football, he gets hurt like in the first play.
Yeah.
And Favre, the understudy,
That's
goes
how Friday Night
in.
Lights starts, by the way.
Is that right?
Jason Street gets hurt and paralyzed. And then it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
Well, Favre goes in and does the football good, and he's throwing, like watching him throw this ball. He's throwing it differently than I've ever seen.
He's great at it. Like objectively, great.
It really is incredible. And it just ignites the stadium.
But what's crazy is that
27 years of futility. Here comes this guy from southern Mississippi, and he brings about such a change to a losing operation. From that point on, we never had a losing season. And that started the legend of Brett Favre.
It started the legend of Brett Favre. And I'm like, well, can't he just be good at the thing you hired him to do?
I know.
Instead of being like, he's a god, he can do no wrong. Let's objectify some women.
I know.
What, like 5, 6, 7, 8 misogyny. And I'm like, you paid him to throw the ball, he threw the ball.
And I guess the idea is that it all comes down to money. The team just wants to make money, so they don't care. They're going to cover up any wrongdoing that he does. The system is set up to fail women. It really, really is.
Like any and every system.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Jenn Sturger. She's awesome. She is the former Jets game day host.
She is just one of us. Like, we are with her. You love her immediately. She's so warm and nice. She says, like, she grew up in a family that loves sports, but she always gravitated towards the arts. She wanted to get PE credit from band because that's what she wanted to do. I was like, she's a band nerd just like me.
I love it. And I'm like, why shouldn't she?
I know.
She's playing next to the sports. Why can't it count? Like, just give Jenn whatever she wants.
And because, like, I was in the marching band and can you believe I was in the marching band and we would, like, do our routines in the football games? Like,
That's where you do it.
We did a halftime show.
Yeah.
I hated it. I actually didn't like being in the band because...
Why? I think being in band is so cool.
It rehearsed at the same time as the drama club, and my freshman year I had to choose, and for some reason I chose the band. I'll never know why.
That feels stupid on the part of the school scheduling program.
1,000,000%.
I don't know why you can't do both.
It makes absolutely it's homophobic. It makes absolutely no
That's weird.
sense.
It's a hate crime.
So I had to do the band, but Jenn was saying that she learned about football by being in the band, and you see her in these like nerdy band pictures, and she just seems so happy. She loves it.
Yeah, and she's like, football and band go hand in hand, obviously.
Yeah.
But Jenn is like,
I didn't really think about sports as a career. I really wanted to be an entertainer. And then my parents told me that I was never going to make any money doing that. And so I went to school for criminology and psychology at Florida State.
So she went to school for Gen criminology and psychology.
I know.
Like, hey, girl.
Can I just tell you, my friend Kate, who listens to this, she wanted to go to school for acting too, and her mom wouldn't let her. Her mom, like, talked her out of it. And
It happens a lot.
I know. But, like, let is a strong word, but, like, if Daisy wanted to go to school for performing arts, I'd be like, baby, I don't know about that.
Look, I'm of the mind that you should be supportive, I guess. But I do understand the fear of like wanting to maybe have your kid have a backup plan. And I understand this is after 500 episodes of the Hamilcast of talking to actors, of having people saying like, this is what I wanted to do. And sometimes the parents are like, go girl, live your dreams. And then they live the dreams. But other times parents, I think I don't begrudge them for being like, and in case, like a plan B. And then I understand why the person is like, fuck the plan B. It's only plan A. Like it's a very complicated.
It is, and you don't want to dash your kids' dreams, but like there are these performers I follow on TikTok who are so much fun, but they are talent-free, you know?
What do you mean?
They're going on auditions all the time, but then they'll like sing their song for TikTok and it's like not good.
Well, that's a bit then,
No,
right?
no, it's not. Like they believe, the two that I'm thinking of, like they really believe in themselves and you're like, oh no, like you're here and you're doing it, but you're not. And it's like, does anybody in your life love you enough to be like, Jenn, you're not going to make money doing this. You need to go to school for criminology.
Not you, Jenn, not our Jenn.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that Jenn's parents said to her, like, girl, there's no money in that. Don't waste your time. And she listened to them, like, is probably a good thing in the end.
And it's not a bit.
No.
Like, this is not an act on TikTok of someone being...
No, it's not fake. And
they'll be famous soon enough because that's where TikTok is. You know, like, that's
where
what's
it lives.
happening.
I know. I guess so. But it's tough. I'm glad that her parents were honest with her, that it went okay. She studied criminology and psychology. It got her to Florida State, which was, like, where it all began for her. Girl, Kettle and Fire is back. So look, fam, Kettle and Fire is bone broth. It is super rich, savory, it's slow simmered, and it tastes as good as it is for you.
Yeah, so if you're like sipping it on the daily, it supports your gut health and digestion, muscle recovery and energy, immune function.
Listen, not to do TMI, but I got super sick over the weekend. I had like a stomach thing. I lived on this stuff. And like, they don't even tell us to say this. It is delicious, first of all. Super filling. Plus, I knew I was doing good stuff for my body, like getting all that nutrition, all that good stuff for the gut health, the immune function. And I gotta tell you, like after a day of drinking it, I was feeling much better.
Yeah, and you can also like use it in meals that you're already making.
Yes.
It's broth, so it can be added, like you can add it to soups, you can add it to rice or like sauces, anything, and you get richer flavor and you get extra protein.
And like these are some quick uses for it, right? If you want like a quick protein-packed snack in the morning, if you gotta keep yourself going between meetings to get you through the afternoon, if you want like a cozy, nourishing evening wind down, like you literally heat the stuff up, put it in a mug, and just like sip it while you're watching your shows. Like it really, like it can be that for you.
Yeah, and many people notice less bloating, which is always a good thing.
So fam, for a limited time, you can get a free carton of Kettle and Fire bone broth by going to kettleandfire.com/TCO.
Just buy any 3 cartons in-store and they'll pay you back for one. This works on any flavor at any retailer.
You can find Kettle and Fire in over 22,000 plus stores nationwide, including Costco, Walmart, Target, Publix, Whole Foods, Kroger, and Sprouts.
That's KETTLE and fire.com/TCO.
Yeah, and tell them Patrick Stomach Bug sent ya.
Yeah, but bye to the stomach bug. Hello
Yes.
to Kettle and Fire.
Exactly.
And then there's a football game. And the game was huge. You could only get tickets by lottery. It was
Yeah.
like at the state. It's not like there were 100 people there. It's like at the stadium.
We're talking like 10,000 people.
And it's 2005. It's the Monday Night Football game. It is televised. It was like a big rivalry game. Everyone is watching this game.
Yeah.
And Jen's like, look, I've never tried the football before. If I'm going to go to one game, it's got to be this one. It's like all the hype.
Can you answer me this question? Like, Jenn first said, maybe this is the answer. Jenn says the game was wild.
While I was there, somebody spilled beer all down my shirt, and I had luckily had a bathing suit top underneath it. So I was like, I'm just gonna wear this. It's 98 degrees outside. It's super humid. It was September in Florida. I'm like, yeah, there's dudes who are practically naked wearing glitter. I'm fine, you know?
And she had a bikini top in her car. She decides to wear that to the game, right?
Yeah.
Looks great. Jenn, who's never been to a football game ever in her life, there's 10,000 people there. She's all the way down in the front. Like, they put her down in the very, very front.
I think she was just joining our friends.
Yeah.
Because I do want to say, Jenn is not the only woman wearing a bikini top.
No, it's Florida in September.
There are also men who are shirtless and wearing glitter. It's a 95 and humid in Florida. Like, they sort of just make it seem like Jenn showed up half naked at the game. It's like, wait, whoa.
Yeah.
Everyone was shirtless pretty much. So Jenn is like pretty, and she and her friend are wearing either like crop tops or bikini tops or whatever. So they get airtime on TV. They're at, again, just like theater, front row of the mezz, best seat in the house.
The best seat in the house.
Which is kind of where they are.
And Jenn is saying, like, everyone she knows in the world is texting her being like, girl, we're seeing you on TV.
Are you at a football game right now? Like, you've never been to a football game in your life.
That's what would happen if I went to a football game and somebody saw me on TV. They would think I was a hostage.
Right. They'd be like, blink twice.
I mean, and I wouldn't. I'd be like, yeah, actually, they would be correct. It would be a hostage situation.
Jenn is having a grand old time.
She is.
But now Jenn and her friends are getting super sexualized by the announcers. And it's like a close-up of Jenn and her friend. And it's just undeniable. Like, I'm not trying to sexualize them, but they're like pretty girls having a nice time, either wearing like a crop top, bikini top. Again, not even close to the only 2 girls, and also men who are shirtless.
No.
But the quote is like, 1,500 red-blooded Americans just decided to apply to Florida State. Basically saying like, these 2 hot girls are making everyone want to go to the school.
And apparently the guy who said it is like a famous announcer, so it's like a big deal. So she learns the next day that this has been said. She said, and then a magazine called Deadspin published the photos of her. Do you know about Deadspin?
It was an online website. It was like I don't know if it was, I think it was part of the Gawker family.
Oh. And Jenn says this completely changes her life. She becomes known as the cowgirl.
It's like the cowgirl co-ed, like so fucking stupid. But I'm like, is everyone okay? What is the big deal?
I know.
A couple of pretty girls had on a hat and a crop top at a fucking football game. Isn't that what you want?
I know.
Don't you want the hot girls to be there?
They do.
Is everyone all right?
They also just want to objectify them. And like, Jenn kind of embraces it. She like embraces the cowgirl kind of as her alter ego.
That I get to pretend to be when I go to football games. Because every other day of the week, if you ran into me on campus, you would not recognize me. So people were always weirded out when they figured out who I was. Because they were just like, really? And I'm like, did you think I was going to wear that to class?
I'm sorry, do you think I'd come to class dressed the way I did on a 95-degree, 100% humidity day?
I know.
Again, is everyone okay? The answer is no.
Because people are so uncomplicated, they cannot imagine that this woman does anything other than walk around in a bikini trying to be hot and get attention.
It's just like, that's not what happened.
It is 100% not what she wants at all. She's just like, oh, that happened.
She's trying to have a good time.
I'm going with it.
Like everyone else in that stadium was allowed to do.
Yes.
And now there's like a target on her back. And now she's famous.
Yes.
And she was the first person to, quote, max out her Facebook by having too many friends.
Facebook will only let you have 5,000 friends. She said she was the very first person that happened to.
And she's taking advantage of this.
Yeah.
She's like, she's in Maxim, she's in Playboy, she's in Sports Illustrated. She said, no shade, I played the game. Good for her.
And like, the world should be such that this beautiful, brilliant woman can do Maxim, Playboy, and Sports Illustrated and also go to criminology class to be taken seriously. The world
Can you
should be like
imagine?
that. I know.
Can you imagine?
What do we do?
I know. No one's okay.
But I'm asking, what do we do?
Nothing. I don't know the answer.
I know.
I wish the answer is like we just keep doing it. But then when Jenn does exactly what she's doing, which is nothing wrong, and we're not even at the tip of the iceberg of what happens to her, we can't just live our lives. We can't be hot and do criminology. We can't wear the bikini when it's 100% humidity at a game, when everyone else around us, one stupid announcer said one stupid thing and that is it. And it changed her journey forever.
But like to Jenn's point, she embraced it. Like she took it and ran with it.
Right.
And we should live in a world where she can do both. Where like this horrible man objectifies her. She turns around and makes it a positive thing. She embraces it, makes money from it, gets a little bit famous from it, and is still taken seriously and can go to class and study and like be left alone.
And the thing is, that was happening until Brett Favre came along.
Yeah.
Like she was able to kind of have it both ways, which even sounds like I'm talking shit about her when I'm not.
No, not at all.
She's like, no shade, I played the game. She was playing the game and the game was going really well for her until.
Yes. So Jenn writes an article for Sports Illustrated.
I wrote like an article for Sports Illustrated, and it was one of their most viewed articles for all of their college football stuff. And they offered me a full-time job.
She's like, they offered me a full-time job.
Yeah.
Because now she's like, for lack of a better term, like hot girl Jenn,
yes.
Cowboy hat, bikini wearing Jenn, writing articles. And now she's getting clicks, regardless of if the articles are good or not. They are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she's using this to her advantage. Good for her.
And this was a time when, like now, you know, influencers are a dime a dozen. But back then, like Jenn taking off in this way was a real opportunity for her and for other colleges. So she's now getting the opportunity to go to colleges all over the country. And like her job is to like be there and like get, like they all know who she is. They're excited to see her. She's got to get the crowd excited about the game, giving like the hometown advantage or whatever. Like this is working out for everybody.
Yeah, so she's reporting for Sports Illustrated online, print, video, on camera, whatever. And she's loving this. She's like, oh,
yeah,
this is what I want to do. Like finally, a combination of all the things that she was interested in, talents that she has. She's like, this is a good combination. This kind of works for me. So she even meets with the commentator who objectified her, Brent Musburger.
Girl, we're doing the best we can.
Whatever. But still, to this day, he's like, you and your friend were one of the most attractive cutaways we've ever had. Can we fucking stop? She's not there in that capacity anymore.
I know.
You are reducing her to that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I know. And it's that whole thing about like how masculine and male this world is. And it's almost as though these men are only, I know this is exactly how it is, but it's like these men are only allowing Jenn to be famous in this world if it's on their terms.
It's almost like he wants to be like, I'll take the thank you anytime, Jenn.
Right. I know.
Like, you're welcome for making you famous and like...
Yeah. I know. So now we meet Peter King. He's a writer for Sports Illustrated. He says he first met Farve in '95.
I covered like 7 or 8 straight Packers games that they won. And so he at one point said to me, from now on, you come into town, you're going to dinner with us on Friday night. And so I covered Farve a lot.
Anytime you're in town, you're coming to dinner with us Friday night. And I'm like, isn't there an element of journalism ethics that is missing here?
Well, notice he goes, so I covered him a lot. He did not say they were friends because journalists are never, ever, ever, ever your friends.
Yes.
Like ever. So he's just like, if this guy's going to invite me to dinner, I'm going.
Yeah.
If Brett thinks we're friends, cool. But like Peter King knows we're never friends because journalists, much like cops, are never your friends.
Yeah, I hope that that's true because I imagine that like even these journalists are wowed by these superstars, you know? So, you know, Peter is saying Favre was the kind of football hero everybody wanted. He was blood and guts, do anything to win. And now it's 1997. We're at Super Bowl 31. That's XXXI.
Oh, great.
I did the math.
Oh, thank you.
Triple
XI.
Triple XI.
Packers haven't been in the Super Bowl for 30 years. It's a big deal. Brett Favre throws, quote, the longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history. Just like this guy can't, I mean, the God complex is getting bigger and bigger. The worship is getting, like every time this guy gets on the fucking field, he does something that's never been done before.
I know. And the thing that is...
Which should be great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And like, this doesn't get said until the end, but it's like, when you are that person, imagine the good you can do. Imagine like the opportunities you could give people. Imagine what you could do for the community. And like to take your power and use it for the forces of evil is so fucked up.
You know, there's part of me that wouldn't wish this kind of talent on anybody.
Truly.
Because there's no way to do it because everyone else around you gets crazy.
Yes.
Which will make you get crazy, kind of understandably. I mean, this guy just ends up being a dick, like so many of them are. O.J. Simpson's a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
And dead. a while I remember that he's dead. And I'm
know.
Like, yes. But, you know, like, there are times where it's like, ooh, when I see someone with that much talent, it's like, oh no.
I know.
I'm worried because there's no like parameter, there's no guardrails to protect these people that are this talented.
You know, it makes me, maybe it's because I'm with you, but it makes me think of like a Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, look at this. This is a shining example of a person who went and used his power for the forces of good.
Who is surrounded by family and friends and people who have known him, I'm not kidding, since he's single-digit age.
And he did that to himself, probably with the guidance of his parents, but he did that to himself on purpose. He still lives way uptown.
Yeah.
You know?
But like his agents, his managers, they've all known each other. They've known him since he was a kid. Maybe not single, but they went to high school together. It's all the same kind of crew. And I think that's really, really important.
And he's got a very strong moral compass. Like, it doesn't have to be predestined that you can be a genius and then be awful, you know?
100%. But when you see things like this, it's like, oh, you can see it coming from a mile away.
And the difference is the sports. You know what I mean? Because there's so much riding on it. There's so much, like, the thing about the hero worship, especially with the people in his inner circle, they all get shit out of it. You know?
Always.
There's always something in it for them. That's where it comes from.
So he throws the longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history. The Packers win the Super Bowl. The hero worship for Brett Favre goes to $1 billion.
In the heart of Packers fans today, I think Brett is and will always be the guy that brought the title back to Titletown. So when Brett won, you go to a level of icon unlike anybody's ever seen. And he was the face. He was the poster child for everything.
He went to a level of icon unlike anyone's ever seen.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, but how come we've seen it a million times?
Yes, exactly.
So he's everywhere. He quote, delivers on the field. Everything's coming up, Brett.
Yeah.
He's treated like a god. And I think the journalist is the one who's like, no question, I don't even think that's overstating it. People thought he was like an actual deity on this planet.
Yeah, and maybe part of the problem is how much we all care about sports. Like, maybe that's part of the problem.
I don't think it's the sport. I think it's the person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, like maybe people are going to be traded and then people are like, oh, well, now I have to hate the other team because the person I love was traded. It's like, what happened to just feeling cozy in your sweatpants?
I know.
Like, where did that go?
I know.
But also, meanwhile, while he's a god, he is constantly, and I mean constantly, cheating on his wife, who was going through chemotherapy for breast cancer. We mentioned that one time and never talk about it again. And I think everyone should be remembering that because now we're going to get into the shittiness of this guy and how misogynistic he is. While his wife is fighting cancer and going through chemotherapy, he's going to be trying to cheat. And he was cheating on her consistently.
The whole time. And also, like, she's not a villain. I mean, I don't know if she's a good person or a bad person, but she's a victim in this too.
I think it's very complicated.
I decided not to hate her. You don't have to agree with me.
I don't know anything about her. I know that they're still married, and I know that he did a ton of shit that was also like lying, cheating, and stealing.
Yeah.
And she's still with him and now blaming it on, or like trusting her faith. And it's like, I can't.
I know.
I can't.
I know. And Jesus, we're not mad at you. We're just mad at the dirt.
No, Jesus is mad too.
I know.
I think Jesus is as mad as we are.
You would think that he would, look, like the second coming could be any time now.
Look, the world isn't going pretty great. I think she's pretty mad.
I know. I agree. I know.
So Peter, the journalist, goes,
when his wife, Deanna, was going through chemotherapy for breast cancer, my editor pulled me aside and said, I want you to write a story about Brett Favre, the family man. And I was kind of like, yeah, I don't write fiction.
Yeah, I don't write fiction.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Girl, Function is back. Look, I chose Function because it's the only health platform that gives me data most people never get and the insights to start doing something about it. I've been using it for months. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, can we talk about your immune system real quick? Not yours, but like everyone's.
Absolutely.
So it's supposed to protect you. We know that. But sometimes it misfires. So in autoimmune disorders, the body starts attacking its own tissues and it creates inflammation and it causes symptoms like pain and fatigue. And this often happens long before a diagnosis is made.
Yeah, I know lots of people this has happened to, truly. And the good news is, fam, you can test and track early indicators, and you do that on the Function dashboard. So examples of relevant biomarkers that you can track on the Function dashboard are, it's an ANA pattern and screen. It's a broad autoimmune screening test that detects antibodies attacking the body's own cells.
And a rheumatoid factor, casually known as RF.
Yeah.
That's an antibody often elevated in rheumatoid arthritis and other autoimmune diseases, reflecting misdirected immune activity. You kind of want to know about that.
Yeah, fam, these are just some of the biomarkers biomarkers you can be tracking on function. And if you see an indication that something is off, it literally gives you like the steps you need to take to fix it.
Yeah, so Function gives you access to these advanced tests so you can detect all these things early.
Yes, exactly. So fam, like I said, I've been using Function for a couple of months. I check it like almost daily. I'm obsessed. You can learn more and join using our link.
Function is a near 360 view to see what's happening in your body, and our first 1,000 listeners get a $100 credit toward their membership.
Visit www.functionhealth.com/TCO or use gift code TCO100 at sign up to own your health.
You just gotta own it. You know what I mean?
Girl, cornbread hemp is back. Look, we always talk about the seltzers, but this week we're going to talk about the gummies.
Yeah, I enjoy cornbread hemp CBD gummies. They help me unwind. They help me chill out. It's kind of nice. The world is a little crazy. Sometimes our job gets like super dark.
Yes.
So I really enjoy these gummies.
Let me tell you, they only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest, most potent CBD.
Yeah, and so like it's formulated to help relieve discomfort or stress or sleeplessness. I'm really like in the stress and sleeplessness thing, but I have a very dear friend who uses it for discomfort, and she says it is awesome.
I take one of these like clockwork after the gym, and then at like 5, 6 o'clock right after dinner. It's my favorite thing. Fam, all of their products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. And like between their THC seltzers and the CBD gummies, I am set for life, girl.
I'm the most chill I've ever been, honestly.
Truly. So fam, right now, TCO listeners can save 30% on their first order.
Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/TCO and use code TCO at checkout.
That's cornbreadhemp.com/TCO and use code TCO. But fam, really do it because we love this stuff and we like swear by it.
I know. Someone saw like my jar. They were over my apartment and they were like, ooh, what's that? And I was like, I became the copy in real life. I was like, actually, let me tell you all about
it. I became the copy.
I was just like, here I am.
So now we learn about Brett Favre's dad, Irv.
Snooze.
Well, but this is the problem is that like Brett Favre's dad, he was tough on him, but he was proud of him. And we get this whole story about when Brett Favre won the Super Bowl, he got his dad a ring and the dad didn't say thank you, but goes and gets all emotional with his friends about Brett doing that for him. It's like, men, hug your sons, tell them that you love them. And, you know, I don't know. Like, it's the dad of it all.
Well, it's such a trope, right? Because it's like he'd break all these records and then the dad would be like, that one negative thing, am I right? And it's like, we hear this all the time. These very successful people are often pushed at home or by a very, very hard coach or by their dad. And it's like, right, but they don't all end up like pieces of shit like Brett Favre. Like,
no, but it is also, I think, the parent's responsibility to tell him he's not a god. But meanwhile, you know, this guy was telling him that he is a god. He thinks that's inspiring him to get there. And it's also like living out his own fantasies through his kid.
And then he's like mad at him for doing like 99.999% of the things right, except that one thing. Like, my God, is there a middle ground? The answer is no, clearly. Not in this documentary anyway.
Yeah. So his dad has a heart attack and he dies and it's awful. But they say that like...
I think Brett had a certain level of non-accountability when he became Brett Favre. But once Irv passed, he was the only one in charge of him. And I think that's where maybe things got a little off the rails. You start to get a sense of invincibility.
And now that Irv is gone, Brett is just off the rails.
And plus, he's spent the last 15 years being told that he's a god by everyone he meets.
Yeah.
So now there's like, someone says a feeling of invincibility. And I'm like, yeah. Also, no one is talking about the fact that he's been cheating on his wife who's going through chemo.
Right.
They just dropped that in and I'm like,
right. I mean, as somebody who knows nothing about this guy or this guy's story, like, yes, I didn't know anything about that. I mean, they mention it for 1 second, like you said, but yeah, knew nothing.
And it never comes back. And it's like, oh, so that is sort of sprinkled in. All the other bad shit he's doing. He also has a wife who's dealing with something horrible, and he's just like, I'm a god.
And also raising their child. Like they've got a kid.
Hi.
So in 2005, the Green Bay Packers draft Aaron Rodgers.
You know how I know Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Oh my God, because he's a fucking nightmare. He's that anti-vaxxer who was gonna like be on RFK Jr.'s presidential ticket.
Oh my God.
He like is an AIDS denier.
What?
Oh, he sucks.
We still have AIDS deniers?
He doesn't believe that like Sandy Hook was a thing. Like, he's fucking crazy.
Oh my God.
He's crazy. So in like 2024, RFK Jr. was like, I want you to be my VP. And he was like, football or, he was like getting in trouble for not like getting vaccinated.
Oh my, he's not the one on Kelsey's team who like wants his wife to stay at home and cook the dinner.
No, I think that's some other asshole.
My God.
I know.
There's so many of them.
We cannot escape it.
I know.
And I'm like,
why the fuck is he here now?
Well, he's here so that Brett Favre will feel a little fire in his back.
Right, but here's the thing, everyone, that no one seems to remember. Sports is a very finite career.
And
like, you can't play on the field forever, and if injuries don't stop it, your age will.
I know, and this is the thing that makes me crazy in life. I will never, ever understand. We are in this booth. You all are listening to this episode because you and I decided to come together and support each other in our theater podcast making.
Uh-huh.
Why can't people support each other? Why can't Brett Favre look at this young upstart and say, I'm a man, I did it, I figured it out? Like, why can't he look at him and say, I'm not, like you just said, I'm not going to be here for forever. My body is not going to withstand this.
Like, none of this should be surprising to anyone that, like, the door, like, it's a revolving door. Like, Brett, you replace somebody.
Yes.
Aaron is here. You guys are both fucking nightmares personally. But
I will never, ever, I understand that it exists and that a lot of people deal with it. I do not understand the feeling of competition. I don't feel that. I love watching a situation. It's like when we were doing the Malice at the Palace episode, and every one of them, when all of those players would like talk about themselves, they never did. They always talked about the other guy.
The other person. And Cheryl.
And Cheryl. And I just love that so much. And like Brett Favre is just like, you see what a bad guy he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think part of it is like, you're a god, you're a god, you're a god. You saved us, you saved us. You alone. You're on a team, but it's you alone. And so like when someone else comes in, it's been 15 years of him being told that he is the one singular person on this team who's making everything amazing. And so like when someone else comes in, it's not like, oh, hey, be like, I don't know if Brett was the captain of the team or whatever.
Do they have captains?
Oh, yeah. Right?
Do they do the coin flip?
Sure.
And that's how they decide who goes first or whatever?
Or whatever. But Brett should have been like, hey, welcome. Here's what I learned, whatever. But because for 15 years, everyone but his father was like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just this weird fucking small penis testosterone bullshit.
I just hate it so much. And you know what? We're only going to fix this problem one person at a time.
Well, Brett's going to take his toys and go home, allegedly.
Oh, my God.
So Brett's like, well, meh, there's a new guy, meh. So Brett's like, I'm over it. If I can't be the ultimate god, then I'm taking my toys and going home. I'm taking my ball off the field and I am leaving.
I don't understand how this guy does not become a national joke over this. In 2008...
He quits football 17 times.
I mean, it's unbelievable. In 2008, he officially announces that he's retiring from football. He says, and I quote, I know I can play, I just don't think I want to. And that's what really...
Bye.
Right.
Like, then fucking go.
Yes.
Like, what do you want me to tell you?
But the Packers call his bluff. This is my favorite part because he quits, says he can't play, but he doesn't want to. Then he thinks he's going to be offered his job back.
I could if I wanted to, but I just don't feel like it. I mean...
But he thinks he's going to get his job back.
And when Brett went there, he found out, I'm not going to get my job back. So he got sold on the Jets, and, you know, the rest is history.
Instead, they sell him to the Jets. I love that they're like, finally, fucking get out of here, guy. We got the new guy.
Yeah,
we got the new anti-vaxxer.
They're like, if you want to go somewhere, I guess the Jets will have you. But like, all of his people are like, bro, you fucking bluffed too close to the sun, I guess. Like,
yes.
It's over. But you know who else works for the Jets? Our friend Jenn.
Yes.
So she's the Jets game day host, and her job is really to make sure everyone has a good time. She's interacting with the fans. She's representing the team. She's getting people psyched. She's kind of like the liaison between the team and the fans.
And she gets to make it up as she goes. Like she's like, I would come to work and they would have an idea of what I was going to do that day, but I kind of just did what I wanted.
Which to me, I don't love because there's no protection for Jenn. So Jenn, her whole job is to interact with the fans, which can be very drunk, mostly men.
Yeah. And we meet Tim. Like, there is a guy named Tim who's there to kind of like be her go-between, kind of like her handler. But he's like, I'm not a security guard. Like, what am I doing here?
Right. He's a, quote, low-level supervisor of the interns. And they're like, Jenn's handler and maybe her security sometimes if she needs it. And I'm like, this is really shitty because you have her out in the wild with these drunk men who may or may not know her as the cowgirl bikini persona.
Yes.
And she's pretty and she's wearing these clothes. Like, she should absolutely have her own security.
And it's her job to be engaging.
Instead of throwing her to a stadium of idiots who are going to be like, hey, take your fucking top off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she heard that a million times and she was out there by herself.
And Jenn, says as much. Like, she kind of just had to take what she could get. Like, she is telling us how few women sports reporters there are in the world. She really wants to be like them. She wants that job. And she sees this as her big stepping stone. And so, like, yeah, she's not going to make much noise.
Which
sucks.
I know. It's horrendous.
That she has to just like sit and deal with it with the hopes of being like the next Erin Andrews or whoever, like who also had to deal with it, who no one had their backs, no one guided them. It was just like everyone for themselves. And like maybe the quote low-level intern handler will also maybe tell some guy to leave you alone. But when you don't have that like security shirt on or when that's not your role, these drunk guys aren't gonna listen to the friend of yours who's just like, hey bro, can you leave her alone? You need someone in an official capacity protecting these women.
Yeah. Girl, Uncommon Goods is back. I don't even want to look at the copy. Uncommon Goods is that place that you go to get those like super unexpected gifts. It's like made for Jillian Pensavalli, the best gift giver in the world.
Oh, well, thank you. But also, I can't take credit because it's mostly everything is from Uncommon Goods. But Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. That is so true.
That's so true. I did all my shopping there for the last 2 years, and there's something for everybody, fam, from moms and dads to kids and teens, from book lovers, history buffs. I remember I got a little book nook for Steve one year. He absolutely loves it. And diehard football fans to foodies, mixologists, avid gamers. You'll find thousands of new gift ideas that you won't find anywhere else.
Yeah, and everything is like, it's high quality. They're really unique things. They have a lot of things about like your birth month, which I love doing. That's a great gift. Like really cool candles. I've gotten jewelry from there, like robes, slippers. Like they're amazing. And they're often like handmade or made in the US. It's great. I love the site.
And they do that because they support artists and small independent businesses. Like that's my favorite part. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season.
Yeah. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And they've donated more than $3 million to date. Come on.
Unbelievable. Fam, we love Uncommon Goods. Shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today.
To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/TCO.
That's uncommongoods.com/TCO for 15% off.
Don't miss out on this limited time offer.
Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
Sing it, sister.
Sing
Ain't
it.
that the truth?
And so now we meet Jamel Hill. She's a sports journalist. She's amazing. And she says she met Jenn. She really liked her. She knew that Jenn wanted to have a big media career. And she says that, like, women are always going to be treated badly by men in this field. That's a given, and no one's going to protect you.
And, like, by the players in the locker room, by the fans in the stands, elsewhere. Like, eventually someone approaches Jenn.
I was at a game, and someone walked up to me, and they said, "What would you say if I told you Brett Favre wanted your phone number?" And I said, I think I like my job, and I look a lot like his wife.
I like my job, and I look a lot like his wife, and she does.
Translation, get the fuck away from me. The answer is no. So Jenn goes home, logs on to MySpace.
Oh my
Throwback,
God.
is everyone in your time machine going back to MySpace? And
there are some people listening to this who don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
Isn't that wild?
MySpace was a mess.
MySpace was the precursor to Facebook, that's how I met Steve. But it's
oh my God.
I know. It's absolutely wild.
It's a mess. So she has 2 messages from a guy whose like screen name is Screaming Lord Byron, which is a David Bowie character. And I would not expect Brett Favre to like have a David Bowie reference. But
wow.
Whatever. So she doesn't respond.
Yeah.
And the next day, and again, like Jenn doesn't know that it's Brett Favre. Like she's a pretty woman on MySpace. I'm sure she's getting messages like this all the time. She just leaves it unread.
Well, and this message is like saying, I'm the new guy on the team. I have gray hair. That's all I can tell you without giving up too much info. This was the only way I could try to reach you without being obvious. Not sure what you, and then it ends. And like, I think what Jenn is going to say is that like, not only did she not think it was Brett Favre, she thought she was being punked. She thought it was like male employees of the Jets that were fucking with her because she says this shit happens all the time.
Trying to make her look stupid when she's like, oh my God, Brett Favre wants my number? Like totally. And then it's some idiot being like, ha ha ha, I got you.
Right.
But then she goes, and then I started getting the text messages and I'm like, how did this person get her phone number?
I know.
She is not responding to the MySpace messages.
But he's also not identifying himself and he's saying,
The person was trying to get me to meet them, offered to send me a car, and I just kept saying no. I just was trying to figure out who this was. The voicemails are definitely when I was like, oh, I'm in serious trouble here.
He's not identifying himself. Like he just sounds like a predator. Like he sounds like he's like some sicko in a car with a knife looking to kill this woman.
But that's the level of the ego. I think he thinks that she's gonna get, I'm new, I saw you in the tunnel. I have gray hair. And I'm like, hot, tell me more.
I
like,
know. Oh my God. And that even if it's a chance that it's Brett Favre, she's going to go.
I know silver foxes are hot, but not this one.
Not this guy. Oh my God.
So like this person wants to meet her and Jenn keeps saying no. She doesn't know who it is. She's like, I'm not going to meet some fucking stranger. Like, absolutely not.
No.
And then the voicemail starts. So just to be clear, and we will get into it ad nauseum in a minute, they have never met. Someone gave this person Jenn's phone number without her consent, which is illegal.
Yeah.
Jenn is ignoring the MySpace DMs. She's ignoring the texts. She's ignoring the voicemails. This person just keeps pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, and we hear these voicemails. It's him. I just finished practice, going back to my hotel room just to chill. Would love to have you come over tonight. Like, you know, she says she tells him no. Yeah. I don't know if she had direct contact with him, but she says she tells him no.
And like, this sucks because it's affecting her job. And now if she's like, oh my God, it's Brett Favre. Like, talk about an unbalanced power dynamic.
I mean, the best example.
He's a god, in air quotes, for 25 years. She's a 25-year-old woman working as an independent contractor.
Yeah.
How well do you think this is going to go for her? It's not.
I mean, and there's no good decision here because let's say she is interested and she goes over and hooks up with him. He's going to throw her away in 2 minutes or the wife is going to find out. She says no and does what the path that she takes, which is like, she's not trying to get him in trouble. She's trying to just not have this happen to her. Or she goes to the higher ups and tells on him and she gets fired because now she's the problem. There is no good solution for her.
I couldn't agree more. I was going to say that later, but you're 100% right. So she says no, she ignores it, she's fucked, and we'll get into the details of that. But like you're saying, let's just say she said yes, and when he's tired of her or thinks she's crazy or whatever, she gets fired anyway. And what sucks is that he chose her out of nowhere.
Yes.
And she's fucked either way.
She's no power here. And, I think
also,
that...
Brett, how's your wife?
Exactly.
How's she feeling today? She doing well?
I think that Jenn instantly knows as soon as he takes an interest in her, her career's over.
And I think she tries, by not engaging at all, that is the best move for her. If I were her friend at the time, that's the advice I would give her too. Like, don't give him a single thing. Don't engage. Say no, sure, to have it in writing. But like, don't engage at all. Right?
Yeah.
Like, what other advice do you give?
No, that shouldn't have to be the advice, but that's the right advice. And he's not the only man who fucks her over here. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. And also,
I was watching playoff baseball, and I remember my phone going off. And I opened up the picture. The picture came through, and the email address that it came with was B. Farve.
Now he's sending dick pics.
Oh my God.
And like, she's saying no, and her ignoring and not engaging is also saying no, by the way.
Yes.
And his wife, Deanna, they're still married to this day. So
yeah. May I also say, too, that Brett Favre knows he has all the power. He knows that there's nothing she can do.
He's been told by everyone he's ever met for the last 20 years that he's allowed to do this.
And he takes 30 seconds to do the math, and he's like, nobody cares about her.
Right.
She turns me in, we get rid of her.
I'll go to the next one.
Yeah. I mean, he knows he has all the power here.
So now they have never met at all. And she is doing everything she can that she feels comfortable doing to say she's not interested.
Yeah.
Whether it's ignoring it or whatever. But now she is in the tunnel, like at game day, right? Like they're kind of in the vicinity. They have never met.
Yeah.
It's never been like, hey, I'm Brett. Hey, I'm Jenn.
No.
Zero. But they know who each other, they're like clocking each other.
Of course.
And now Brett is harassing her at work, seeing her in the tunnel. She says making hand gestures at her.
Yes.
And so she confides in her friend Tim, that guy who's like kind of But not really, just because he's like her friend, but he really has another job to do, like not in any official capacity.
Right.
He's like walking her to and from where she needs to go because she's like, okay, I finally found this job that I kind of love and I didn't know I was going to love the job and now I have it. And now this guy who's the most powerful guy in the stadium is harassing me. What do I do?
And the other thing, like her friend Tim tells us, not only does she know that she's going to lose her job over this, she's now miserable going to work.
That sucks.
And that should matter.
It's so unfair.
Even if he moved on to some other woman or whatever and left her alone, she would still feel intimidated going to work every single day. And that is so unfair, like you're saying.
And more than that, it's lonely.
Yes.
Like, it's so lonely. And Tim is great, I'm sure. He believes her. He's walking
But
her.
he's got no power either.
But it's like, I've been in that situation where, like, when I was working at K-Rock, the radio station that Howard Stern was working at before he went to Sirius, like, that was a real fucking boys club, man. And, like, there wasn't a woman in the room. When you had to walk through that gauntlet to get the newspaper in the morning for the street team, it was all fucking ba-ba-boo. It sucked.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anyone there having your back as a young teenager.
Yeah.
And so to feel really lonely, being like, I love these bands, and like Green Day's here, and like Pearl Jam's here, and like, oh my God, and not having anyone have your back in that way because the most famous guy and broadcaster in the room is there and what he says goes. And like, it's a little similar. I see through lines to this of Jenn being like, I found something I love.
It is not a little similar. It is exactly the same.
And you're like, oh my God, why am I sweating going down the hallway that I have to go to the fucking bathroom?
Can I, before I explode, just say to you, I'm so fucking sorry you had that experience.
Like, but we all have, you know?
But like,
it's like
you know that I'm not an idiot. I'm not new here. I know this happens. But to hear the experience of somebody that you really care about,
It sucks, man.
It is so awful. And I'm so fucking sorry that you had to go through that.
It's really lonely. And it can be something as small as like, you know, I don't know, working at a restaurant you always want to work at. And it doesn't have to be around famous people. It can be working at a company that you really, you know, and like when you find something that you really like and then it becomes the loneliest, most anxiety-ridden thing in the world, it's a horrible feeling.
Let me tell you, get women in the room.
Yeah.
We need women, and I've been thinking this the whole time, we need women owning sports teams. We need women in the room. But we have to be able to imagine.
No,
like,
I mean, like, how, I'm saying that, like, how great would that be to have those voices? And, like, this is what Jenn and the Aaron Andrews and all these people of the world are, and, like, Jamel, you know, trying to say, like, we need more of us here.
Yes.
So that at least at the start, it's not as lonely or it's not as feeling crazy or it's not as like, I have to do this to pay my dues because I want to be here.
Right,
and like
exactly.
This is what I need to do to be in this space that I have been dreaming of being in, for example, that Jenn may or may not have been thinking.
100%.
So, because the point is, Brett Favre is stalking her and harassing her.
I mean, but that's what it is.
Like,
we need to say the word. He's stalking her.
Because now he's texting her and calling her. She didn't give him her number. Somebody else did, which is illegal.
And all she wants is for it to stop.
And it's like, and then like, how many people are in on this? And then it makes you feel crazy. And then the paranoia starts. And then the conspiracy starts because Jenn's like, how many people are watching this happen? How many eyes are on me? I didn't give him my phone number. Who did?
And, you know, Jenn says offhandedly at some point, like, the people that I told were like, yeah, we'll look into it. So, I mean, she did tell some people. It's not like she kept it. Like, she was doing whatever she could.
Right.
Doing the best she can, probably, in every living moment to moment.
And at the end of that year, my contract was not renewed. Shocker. And I kind of went into hiding. I just wanted to put the whole experience behind me. It was too humiliating to talk to people about what happened to me.
Shocker. And because part of it's probably like, hey, lucky you, girl, like, go on a date with him. Or, you know, no one is taking it as seriously as like, do you know how scary it is to get a text from someone?
I know.
Not to say like an unknown number, like a number that's not in your phone.
Yes.
And it's like the most powerful guy in the stadium.
I know.
Not the room, not a four walls, the stadium.
And in your
industry.
I was just going to say, in your industry, you know?
And so she's essentially fired. She did nothing wrong. Someone gave him her number. She ignored it and or said no to everything. She loses her job because she didn't say yes to him. And like we were just saying, even if she did, this is how it would have ended for her.
No question. So she goes into hiding, she says, and then she says...
Goes into hiding.
I know. Then she says, when Brett retired again. He retires again. She says, I just hoped it would be the end of it.
And that was in 2009.
Yeah.
And then by August of that year, 4 months later, he's playing for the Minnesota Vikings. This is so annoying.
Back.
Just go away.
I know.
Go away.
And apparently this Vikings thing is a big betrayal to the Green Bay people because that's their biggest competition or whatever. People are setting their Jeff Favre jerseys on fire, to which I'm saying, great, but you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
You guys, remember we did this with the Chicks? You already bought the record. You already bought the album.
Yeah.
You bought the jersey. Why are you burning it?
It means so much to people. You know what I mean? It means so much that I love the people during the Chicks era who are like, well, I'm still going to go to the concert because I already bought the tickets and they're not refundable.
Just say you're still a fan.
I mean?
Just don't, like, not be a fan of the chicks.
Who doesn't love the chicks? Who doesn't love the chicks?
Get the hell out of here is what I'm saying. You know who probably doesn't? Brett Favre.
Oh, no question.
And also this asshole, AJ Delario, he's the editor-in-chief of Deadspin. So Deadspin wrote the viral post about Jenn wearing the bikini top and the cowboy hat and, like, reduced her to just that. And then Jenn had written some pieces for them in 2009, and then she wrote about leaving the Jets. So she kind of is like, because she's like a player in this industry, as she should be, right?
Well, and everything she writes turns to gold. Everything she writes gets the most clicks or whatever, so they hire her to come write for Deadspin.
And she explains that Deadspin is like a rogue sports site. She says, they called it journalism, but it really wasn't. It was just like a bunch of guys writing a sports blog.
Exactly.
And like, it's all about getting clicks. So they're going to do whatever they need to do to get the clicks, and they're going to use whoever, and they're going to use whatever tactics.
I mean, what happens here is so unconscionable. This man should be in prison.
Yep.
This man, I mean, like, if Brett Favre hadn't ruined her life enough, this guy puts the nail in the coffin.
So it's 2010, and Jenn and this guy, AJ from Deadspin, have a rapport. She explains, just like Brett Favre, they had never met. It's all totally online. So they talk online, and Jenn's like, it was completely off the record. We were talking as friends. And again, it's not a journalism website. It's like a blog site.
Yes.
So there's another story that comes out, one of millions, where another woman is being harassed by an athlete. And Jenn's like, first of all, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But she says to her friend, she thinks he's her friend, AJ.
And an off-the-record moment.
She's like, AJ, like, this is crazy. Like, this is nothing compared. Like, I've seen, like, I'm in this industry. This happened to me. This is kind of nothing compared to what happens. And, like, the tea I have for you, the name I'm about to drop for you is going to blow your mind.
And she tells him, I mean, she doesn't say this here, but she tells him the entire story. She must. And then she says,
he got excited. And I realized I had overshared. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, this was an off-the-record conversation. He hit me up and it was like, I'm going to run your story anyway.
And so AJ's like, fuck it, I'm running the story anyway. So I'm going to lose my mind. Just to recap, I just want to recap what exactly is happening here. Jenn is minding her own business.
Yes.
She's showing up to work on a regular basis.
yes, doing
her
a great job, by the way. Yeah.
She did not reach out to Brett Favre. She gets these anonymous messages that she ignores. And then someone gives Brett Favre her phone number without her consent, which is illegal.
Yeah.
Then she is stalked and harassed by Brett Favre. She is not engaging. She is saying no. Even by not engaging, that's a no.
Yeah.
She is making it clear repeatedly that she does not want contact with him. She loses her job because of this, because she did nothing.
Right.
She loses her job because he reached out to her and she did not engage.
Yes.
Let that sink in.
Yes. Yes.
She's just trying to live her life. She sees another woman go through the same thing, and she mistakenly says something about her own experience.
Yes.
And then the piece of shit she tells off the record decides to run the story once again without her consent. And now her life is potentially ruined again.
I think...
I should have told you to pull over. I'm sorry.
I know. Too late.
I mean, but like all she was doing was living her life and not engaging.
Yeah.
Like, what is she supposed to do?
Yeah, I know. And all I'm thinking here is that, like, this is going to sound so common sense to you, so bear with me.
Okay.
Men need to spend time trying to understand women's perspectives. I know that that sounds insane, that it has to be said out loud, but it needs to be said out loud. Men need to think, I mean, these are lessons I've absolutely had to learn. I mean, my God, my most important colleague in my entire life is a woman, and I've had to think about things from your perspective. And it's been really helpful. And I'm so grateful for it. And I don't know that until my daughter was older, I would have had the opportunity to teach myself that I had to do that. You know, you're the person I spend the most time with in the world next to my husband. Mm-hmm. Everybody think about the women in your life. Everybody think about the women in your life, and please, please spend a little bit of time trying to see the world from their perspective. And I think if everybody does that, it could begin to make a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, or at least maybe like ask a question, be curious.
Yep.
Instead of going to like, she wore a bikini once, she asked for it.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for the commentator to make that comment about her. You know what I mean? She was just living her life in the world.
I think my big point is that I think that there are some good men out there that are hearing this that are like, no, like, we have to expose the guy. We got to expose the guy. Like, we got to bring this guy down. You have to think it one step further and listen to the women in this documentary who are telling you it never goes that way. It never goes that way. We have to dismantle the system. Maybe somehow we can figure out how to do that. But in the moment, we need to listen to the women and learn the lessons we're being told here. It's always going to be blamed on the woman.
I mean, it's the reason we don't say anything most of the time.
Yeah.
It's the reason we don't report it most of the time.
Yeah.
Why would we? For what, for this?
Right, because it's not just Brett Favre, the superstar. It's the boss in the workplace. It's the teacher. It's the professor. It's the cop. It's the whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, what about this is fun or beneficial to me in any way to talk about it and then have everyone not believe me or make me tell the story 10,000 times
And even if they do believe you, Jenn is no longer the woman with this awesome job being an influencer, going around these colleges, getting people to care about football. She's now the woman that has the thing with Brett Favre.
Right.
You know?
Who somehow asked for it when she was being harassed by him relentlessly.
And just to get back to the AJ story, when his story published.
When you got these texts and the pictures allegedly from Favre to Jenn Sturger, did you pay for that material?
Yes, I did.
The story is published with pictures, text messages, and emails that were hacked from Jenn's account.
And when the story is everywhere, every single story has to include that Jenn was in Playboy and Maxim, like it has any relevance at all. It does not. It's very, she was asking for it, or, well, look what she was wearing. And, you know, she was dressed like sex and she got it. What does she want? So everyone is now blaming Jenn. Oh, she's lying. Why did it take her all these years to come forward? She didn't come forward.
That's exactly it.
She did not come forward.
That's exactly right. That's the thing. Because Jenn does not have a platform anymore. And everybody is saying this woman is coming out with these allegations 2 years
She did not.
She didn't. She was outed. Her story was stolen from her. She never wanted to do this.
She was feeling so alone and so silenced for so long that she said it to someone and instantly realized the mistake.
Yes.
He hacked her fucking email and told the story. She did not hide this for 2 years. And even if it did take her 2 years to come forward, what the fuck is the difference?
And that's what I'm saying. We should live in a world where she should be like championed for telling this story. We don't live in that world. We also live in a world where this story was stolen from her and told against her will, and nobody's asking her a question.
And you're telling me that the same people who are like, oh, it took her 2 years to come forward, if it took her 2 seconds to come forward, they treat her any differently?
I know.
Fuck that, because she's still going to be the hot girl in the cowboy hat and the bikini top.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes. Yes.
She's going to be reduced to that.
Yeah.
So now the public thinks Jenn is the villain because, of course. And then it's like, they're both wrong. She knows he's married. I'm like, she didn't participate in any way.
I know.
Brett Favre was stalking and harassing her. He's married. How's your wife doing, by the way? Did the chemo work?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He has kids. He's like 15 years older than she is. It's a power imbalance. And then she just says, it's like an hour into this thing, she goes, by the way.
Yeah.
For the record, after all of this, even when she was getting dragged through the fucking mud.
So here's the craziest part about the whole scandal, is that I've never met Brett Favre. I've never met him. We've never been in the same room. We've never shaken hands. We had no kind of relationship, no rapport, nothing.
Never met the guy.
She goes, I didn't even shake his hand.
And then when she is forced now to go on a media circus tour to just talk about the story that was ripped away from her, George Stephanopoulos should be fired from media. He should never be allowed to be in public again. He literally says to this woman, who, by the way, is so whip smart, she knows the exact response. He literally says to her, but come on. I mean, it had to be he's the biggest sports star in the world. And she looks she looks so small in this interview. She looks so small, and she looks at him and says, it wasn't flattering if that's what you're implying.
Right. She didn't do anything. She didn't start it, and she didn't respond to it. She did nothing.
George Stephanopoulos, one of the smartest people in media I used to think.
Not today.
Not today. He's literally saying he butts her. I know this horrible thing happened to you. I know the story was stolen from you and told against your will, but come on. It's Brett Favre.
He butts and actually's her at the same time, which is insane.
Yes.
And she's like, but I didn't ask for it, and I didn't do anything, and I didn't engage it, and I'm the villain.
And that's what I'm saying. Even men that we think are on our side.
They're not.
You know?
Journalists are not your friends, cops are not your friends, and men are not your friends.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Oh, God.
How does that fit? She is sitting there after being forced to tell her story. And even then, they couldn't have a fucking woman talk to her?
I agree. But I gotta say, not all men are evil, you know?
No, it's not all men, but it's always a man.
Correct.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
and Kendra.
To the what?
And Kendra.
And Kendra. right. But so it's not all men.
Yes.
But don't you dare, not you, but don't you dare society blame women for being for being a little camera shy or a little whatever the trigger, whatever the term is that I can't think of right now because my brain is spinning, to be
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
It's not all men, but it's always a man.
Yeah.
So
They couldn't have had a friendly journal. Where's Erin Andrews to talk to her?
Where's Robin Roberts?
Where's
I know.
anyone?
I know.
Instead of being like, but Silver Fox, right? Actually, no. Where is his fucking wife?
I know. But that's where, okay, let's talk about her for a second. Because once again, neither you or I know anything about this woman. You know what I mean?
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Jenn is sitting with a dog. Hi, little one. Don't get a lower third. But she's sitting with a little puppy in her lap. And it made me happy for her that as she's telling this, she's got a little pup with her.
She's got her dog.
Let's talk about Deanna.
Well, I don't have a lot to say other than just like she's like the cheated on wife with cancer too, you know?
And the thing that really pisses me off is that she's sitting there discussing the quote allegations. They're not allegations. Those texts are real, sweetheart.
Yes.
I'm sorry to call you sweetheart. I'm sorry. But like to all the journalists, they're not allegations if the texts are the texts and the facts are the facts.
Right. Right, because, well, also when this all comes out, Brett Favre is dodging every question, nary a follow-up. He's just allowed to say, I'm not talking about this. I'm much more focused on my work with the sports team, whatever it's called.
And you get to be an icon and a legend to a bunch of people with $1 zillion, and where's Jenn?
I know, because we also cut around to all these different men that are like, well, I'm sure that wasn't that great, but he's a legend. He's a hero. One guy says,
I think when he was in New York, it sounds like he made some bad decisions, but still got to respect the guy. He's a hell of a football player. He's 41 years old, playing at a high level. I don't really care as long as he's performing on the football field. That's all.
Men literally don't care. They don't care.
And we have Deanna saying, I'm handling this through faith. And I say, Deanna, shut up. And I'm sorry. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for that, and I'm sorry to say it, but like, we got to be honest about this here. And I don't know what the status of their relationship is, if she's being abused at home. I don't know that. But to sit here and say she's handling it through faith, like all of this just happened upon them.
Yeah.
Like Jenn is not a victim here.
Well,
like,
but my thing about, sorry, I didn't mean to
no, go
interrupt
ahead.
you.
I don't even know what I'm saying
No,
at this point.
my thing about Deanna is like, why should she have to give up the life to what she's become accustomed when she's the one that had cancer? She's the one that's raising the kids.
She also didn't do anything.
Right. She's the one that, you know, once again, I don't know anything about her, but in my guess is that she's keeping the house. She's keeping the social calendar. She's, you know, donating to the charity. Why should she have to give up she gave up her life already to be Brett Favre's wife.
Well, he's using her. He's parading her around on the morning shows.
Yes.
To have a woman by his side.
Yes. Yes. And does that
I resent it.
Well, right. And that's fair. Does that make her a co-conspirator in this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the status of, I don't know how sick she was when this was happening. I don't know that.
Right.
But I know that she's being used.
Yes.
So I guess that I will say is a definite. And that hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts to watch a woman do that to another woman.
Yes, I agree.
By the hands of the same man.
Yeah. But it's not her fault.
That's what I mean.
I know.
It's like, but he's at the center of it.
Yes.
And now these two women are in separate factions, but aren't they kind of the same? In a way, they didn't do anything. She didn't do anything.
They're the same in that way. It's just it's a matter of like his wife, like, why does she have to give up her, like, she's married to a bad guy. You know what I mean? I don't want that marriage for her because he's a bad guy. But like, why should she have to give up her life now because he cheated?
She should just take the fucking money and run.
Exactly.
If that's possible.
Yes.
Honestly.
Well, and now we learn.
The issue may go beyond Sturger. The New York Post reports Farve had similar contact with two women hired by the Jets to give massages.
Brett here. You and Chrissy want to get together? I'm all alone and kind of lonely tonight. I guess I have bad intentions.
Now, according to reports, Christina Scavo and Shannon O'Toole claimed they were fired when they complained.
They complained about and they got fired.
And also, I just want to say these women's names. It's Christina Scavo and Shannon O'Toole. They complained and they were fucking fired.
Yeah.
No one is shocked by this behavior. Like that journalist who's like, I'm not going to write a fiction story about Brett Favre, the family man.
Exactly.
Like, this isn't one of those many open secrets.
Every journalist who's ever covered him was like, well, everybody knew this.
Any woman in that vicinity, masseuse, journalist, whatever, was a victim of his, or everyone knew it.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like whoever got Jenn's phone number was getting all the phone numbers. Like Brett, like to me, I'm saying like he had a guy who could get the information to harass these women. Then it's like, do you want a job or not?
Yeah, 100%.
And even when you give me the whatever, the sexual favor or whatever it is, you probably won't have the job much long after that anyway.
100%. And then like Jenn's career completely falls apart. 25 days after the scandal breaks, her TV show gets canceled. She says it was really hard to work in sports while being a sports story, which of course it was.
So then it's like, boys will be boys and let's rely on our faith. Bullshit on bullshit on bullshit. So the NFL says they could not conclude if Brett Favre had violated any policy or conduct. Yes, you could have. You just didn't want to.
Of course not. Yeah.
And they fine him for, quote, not being candid during parts of the probe.
Unbelievable.
Give me a break.
And that's where the Jenn story kind of ends. There's no justice for Jenn. Do we know what she's doing now?
She said, my life is ruined, and he went to the Hall of Fame.
Yes. And then we get this whole other 20 minutes, which we can go through kind of quickly. I mean, he goes to Mississippi. His daughter goes to Ole Miss, which is like, Mississippi University or whatever. He decides he wants to build a volleyball stadium. A volleyball stadium. Have you ever heard of this?
Well, his daughter wanted one. Daddy, I want a volleyball stadium.
A volleyball stadium? I've never heard of this.
So, because here's the thing, like, he could do no wrong. He's like going back home to Mississippi, which is where he's from. So the hero worship there is everywhere in this country, but mostly in the South. When Brett Favre comes home, it's like, oh my God, God has come home. And he's got a ton of money because he's doing all these like commercials and endorsements, and he's like the face of Wrangler jeans, and he was a football star for 20 years. Like, the guy's got money.
I don't want to hear that he's out of cash, which they try to tell us at the end. His net worth is $100 million.
Right. He also has this company that, again, could be doing good work because it's trying to like reverse the damage done by playing football.
Yeah, except it doesn't work.
But he's also the biggest shareholder in that company, so it's all like a transaction.
And like, we get all the science about it. Like, there's no evidence that this works at all.
So in 2020, news of, quote, the largest welfare scandal in Mississippi history breaks.
He never says welfare dollars, but he's talking to the governor. He goes to John Davis, the welfare director, and he's talking to Nancy New, who controls millions in welfare dollars. It's written that it's for a wellness center that will help, disadvantaged kids locally, but really it just builds a volleyball stadium.
He's stealing welfare money from the state of Mississippi, which, by the way, is the poorest state in the country.
Now, as a person who was raised on welfare through parts of my childhood, I can't even tell you the offense I take to this. And here's where we get the story about his daughter was playing volleyball for for Southern Mississippi State. And we see texts about Brett Favre wanting to fund a volleyball stadium for her. And he's talking to the governor, he's talking to the welfare director, he's talking to a woman named Nancy New who controls millions of dollars in welfare funds. And it's all like, they have to find creative ways to siphon off this money from the state welfare program.
Because little Braley was like, Daddy, I want a volleyball stadium. And he's like, okay, sweetie, well, I can't just outwardly take welfare money for Braley's precious volleyball stadium. So they have to move the money around.
I mean,
in all of these pet projects until it was laundered and cleaned enough to then make the precious volleyball stadium for his daughter.
And to put a fine point on that, what is happening here is that the state of Mississippi wants to make Brett Favre happy. And they don't care about the poorest of the poor citizens in their state. And they think, we got to get these millions of dollars for Brett Favre. We're going to take it from there. No one's going to know. No one's going to care. Brett Favre is going to go out of his way to tell us he didn't know anything about this.
Bullshit.
Once again, there are the text messages saying, if you give me welfare funds, can the press ever find out? Can I get in trouble?
Am I going to get in trouble for this? Cut to Jenn. She goes, wow, he's learned nothing. I mean, the guy's a fucking idiot. You should really actually fund that whole like head injury thing.
Exactly. I mean, honestly.
Because he's stealing money from this concussion business, millions and millions of dollars. And then we meet Benny Thompson, who's the U.S. representative.
Love this guy.
He's awesome from Mississippi 2nd District. And
he's on Rachel Maddow all the time.
He's here to really hit home how shitty this all was of Brett Favre, because he goes, this is a state that needs all the help it can get. Again, it's the poorest state in the country. And Benny's like, this is money for the poorest of the poorest. And who gets it? His daughter.
Let me tell you this. One of our journalists tells us,
when we even talk about TANF cash assistance, the amount families get is very low, and the income eligibility they have to meet is very low. If we looked at a family of 3 in Mississippi, single mom and 2 kids, she's going to be eligible for $260 a month of TANF cash assistance.
You have to make next to nothing even to be eligible for it. So he says, take a family of, this is my family, by the way. This is how I grew up. Take a family of 3, a single mom and 2 kids. She's going to be eligible for $260 a month in TANF cash. That's the welfare assistance. This is 2025. Even in Mississippi, $263 is absolutely nothing. Brett Favre alone, the amount of money that was directed just to him from the funds for these people was $1.1 million. That's not counting the $5 million that went to the volleyball stadium. You should be, look, the Jenn thing is equally as horrible. I'm not saying this is where one is better or whatever. You should be so horrified that the money intended for these kids, and they are barely getting anything as it is. These people are suffering.
Yeah.
Brett Favre took $1.1 million just for himself.
Because Braley wanted to play volleyball at a shiny new stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is, though. So he's lying, cheating, and stealing, and also sexually harassing women on a regular basis. And before that, remember, he was cheating on his wife. Everyone knew exactly who this guy was.
Yeah.
And because he could throw really well, he became a god.
Right.
And because he became a god, he was able to do all of this, and he's a fucking idiot.
And he gets away with all of it.
Right.
He gets away with all of it. He gets a little bit of accountability on the ESPN shows or whatever, but he never answers to anything. His answer for whenever anybody asks him about it, he says it's a league issue. He's never forced to take public accountability for this. He's testifying before Congress. People are asking him to sign jerseys.
They're like, you're everyone's favorite Packer.
These are our elected officials. Benny Thompson notwithstanding, these are our elected officials.
And Benny Thompson is the one to be like, just to do a record scratch on this.
Brett Favre, with his name ID, reputation, could have done a lot of good for a state like Mississippi. But he didn't. He took advantage of the people who are on that path and struggling.
Imagine if he had taken the hero worship, the godlike status, and actually done things for the community.
And he just refused.
Yes.
He just refused. And Benny says he took advantage of the people on that path who were struggling. The poorest state in the country, and this is what he does. And so then we're at a bar with a Confederate flag on the front door, by the way.
God.
With everyone talking about how fucking great this guy is.
Yes.
And also, it just proves, his lawyers were threatening everybody, which proves how much fucking money this guy has, because that's not cheap to do.
It's the old Michael Cohen playbook. Remember when Michael Cohen was threatening journalists, sue everybody?
Every time I'm in this booth, I think I'm not going to hear a name.
I know.
And then a name comes at me like a shot, whether it's OJ or Durst. And I'm like, Michael Cohen. I'm like, who?
I know.
Remember what's the other guy? What was the Santucci guy?
Oh my God. The
Scaramucci?
Scaramouche. The
Was that his name?
Scaramouche? Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
But it's that names like that where
I
I'm like, I'm
know.
trying to wheel, I'm like, bing, bing, trying to wield them. Like, oh my God.
I know.
But yes, no, it's the same thing.
And it's just, in the end, we're just told it's the winners who get to write the history. When it comes to football, they say people can not like the person, but they can love an athlete even though the person is not very likable.
And also, I would love to play this clip because it ends with...
If you are perceived as a superstar and you're white, in many instances, you get a pass. Brett Favre is getting a pass.
I think that's very important to be said.
Of course.
He's like some fucking derpy doof. Cue the shitty housewives music where they can't use the fucking can opener or whatever. That's this guy being like, he can throw a football and literally nothing else.
Yes.
Fucking idiot.
Oh my God, girl, we did, what is this called?
It's called Untold, The Fall of Farve.
I mean,
I can't even spell his own
for
name
two
right.
people who don't know anything about football, we had a lot to say.
Whatever. Team Jenn, Team Women.
Yes, team the welfare recipients in Mississippi. Hi, I see
Team
you.
Benny Thompson.
Exactly.
Team anyone but Brett Favre.
Oh, fam, don't forget about the Disky. Don't forget about the YouTube. Over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. This would be a good one, by the way, to go watch if you haven't subscribed yet. We got real animated in this. Go watch us be mad.
I feel like my posture is terrible because I just felt really
I know,
really sad about the world. I feel like I was hunching a lot.
The camera loves you. Every time I look at them, I'm like, God damn it.
Even when I'm like this.
Yeah, you.
Okay, great. Like the Crypt Keeper. But you know what? Sometimes this brings out the Crypt Keeper. Let this bring out the Crypt Keeper in you.
In all of us.
You know.
And sometimes you got to keep that crypt. Girl, what are we doing next?
Oh God, it's called Blood and Myth on Hulu.
Ooh.
This is I'm fascinated by this.
Okay.
It's about an attempted murder case in Alaska and if and how folklore played a role in it about just the small community in Alaska and the Inuit community. And
wow.
There's a lot going on there. I was fascinated by this. So it's called Blood and Myth on Hulu. And we'll get there when we get there.
All right. Well, stay tuned for the trailer for that, my loves. And we'll see you soon. Go subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah. And fuck you, Farve.
And he's unsubscribing at the 5.
Bye.
Right? Bye.
Take it. And don't do it 10 times like you were tired. 10 times.
Exactly. Just get out of here. Get out of here, Farve.
Go.
Bye.
Bye.